1,000 people are said to be caught shoplifting every single day. However, only around 48% of them are actually chased up by the police and caught and put into custody. Shoplifting as a whole is becoming an even bigger increasing problem, with many companies having to take losses of 1%, and if you're a major company, that is quite a large scale of your income and financialness. So this is becoming a massive problem across the UK and across the world. I got in contact with a local retail company where I was able to arrange an interview with their store manager to talk about the effects of shoplifting on their store financially and the well-being of staff. And then I also asked them about how the police get involved and how they can report it, and if things like this get chased up. Have you ever witnessed someone shoplifting in your store?
I have witnessed people shoplifting, and this does happen on multiple occasions, normally frequently, at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Do you report all the crimes that you see to the police, and what is done about it?
So in more recent years, we report every single crime. We also have a special reporting system now that the police have set up, so we can kind of, instead of having to go through 101 and the long-winded reporting process, we can go straight onto our portal. However, we've found it's almost been decriminalised in recent years. So back in 2017, I'd say we were getting a high percentage of shopliftings going through the courts, and we were getting money paid back to the company. Now we don't see that happening at all.
What measures do you think need to be put in place to reduce shoplifting in the UK?
So instead of, for example, I was thinking about this, where councils use external companies to process parking fines, it's a small amount, but they go after people and make sure it gets paid. There could be sort of an external security company or something operating on high streets throughout the UK, so they can pursue those smaller thefts and return money to retailers instead of it having to be a policing priority.
What the effect shoplifting has on your store and on finances and prices of items?
So I think it has a lot of different, there's a lot of different factors. So staff obviously feel very deeply when there's been a shoplifting incident, because they almost feel like it's their fault. So it will have a big effect on staff because we don't want it happening, and we do feel a big responsibility. It definitely has a knock-on effect on pricing for the consumer. Most companies build in kind of a 0.5 to 1% loss factor that they're happy to write off because they know it happens, which doesn't sound like a big percentage. However, if you're a high turnover business, it can run into tens of thousands of pounds, so that cost definitely gets passed on to the consumer.
In June 2024, 469,788 shoplifting offences were recorded by the police. This is a 29% increase from the previous year of June 2023. This is a pretty crazy statistic, as most shoplifting offences, with just under half, are actually followed up by the police and actually ever pursued and recorded by police forces. Do your staff receive any training on how to deal with shoplifters and how to report them?
So when a staff member starts with us, we go through something we call loss prevention training. So that's just sort of building an awareness that people know this happens, because what we find is quite often people come start a job as a sales advisor and they do not realise the scale of the problem. Also, just because it happens on such a frequent basis, it's kind of staff then become more aware, and then they kind of learn how real customers shop. So I think we do that initial training, and then people sort of just learn as they come across various circumstances as well.